Hello, hello, hello. All right, we are midway through this awesome week. I hope you have enjoyed the last two videos. If you haven't watched them yet, I definitely would encourage you to do so as we review geometry. Today, what we're going to talk about is describing the effects of dilations, translations, and rotations, reflections using coordinates. So today's video definitely might be a little bit longer, but well worth your extra time. So today, you will have your standards checkpoint in USA Test Prep. Please remember, it is very, very important that you're keeping up with these. They are a grade. So the first question that we're going to look at here says, find the coordinates of the vertices of the image of triangle IJK after it is dilated by a scale factor of 1/4 using the origin as its center of dilation. And we're going to graph that new image. So let's think back to scale factor. So scale factor. If your scale factor, which they call K, is less than 1, that is going to be a reduction, meaning the image is going to be smaller. Okay. If K is greater than 1, that is going to be an enlargement, which means it'll be bigger than your original. So if I'm looking at a scale factor of 1/4, I should know that what I'm looking for is an image that is smaller, okay? Not larger, smaller, all right? So before we can answer this, we need to figure out all these coordinates. So K right now is at -2, 4, okay? I is at over 4 up 0. And then J is at 2, -4. So what this question is telling us to do is to take each one of these coordinates and we're going to reduce it by 1/4. So what we're looking to do is we're going to take each coordinate and multiply it by 1/4. So -2 times 1/4 is -1. 4, 1/4 of 4 is going to be 1. Oops, I'm sorry, this should be -1/2. Sorry, -1/2, comma 1. We're going to do the same thing here with I. We're going to take 1/4 of 4 and 1/4 of 0. So 1/4 of 4 is 1. Oops, I'm writing these in all the wrong places here. Let's move this down to K. There we go. And I would be up here at 1, comma, anything times 0 is 0. Last one would be J prime. So 2 times 1/4. And then -4 times 1/4. So 2 times 1/4 would be +1/2. And then -4, 1/4 of that is -1. So now what we can go ahead and do, we can draw in all these new points. Over 1 up 0, that's I prime. See if I can make this a little bit thinner. There we go. That's I prime. J prime is going to be at 1/2, -1, so right here at J prime. K prime is going to be at -1/2, -1/2, 1 right there. So our new triangle, there it is. It is 1/4 of that big triangle. All right, so basically all I did was take each one of those coordinates, both x and y, and multiply it by 1/4. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next problem. It says find the coordinates of the vertices of the image of the triangle IJK after the translation T of x minus 3, y plus 5. This is saying, remember x, we talked about this, moves it horizontally. Okay? So that is your left and right. So either it's going to move it left or it's going to move it right. Y is your vertical movement. So it's going to move it up or down. So in this case, what's happening? Oops, I jumped back a problem. In this case, what's happening is I am going to be moving left 3. And how I know that is from this -3. So this is telling me I'm going to move it left 3. The 5 is going to be telling me I'm going to be going up 5. So I'm going to be moving this whole triangle. Left 1, 2, 3. And then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do that with each point. So over 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing here, left 1, 2, 3, oops, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I now have my new triangle. And its new coordinates, this is K all the way up here, -5, 9. J prime was right here at -1, 1. And then I prime is right here at 1, 5. Okay, moving on to the next example. All right, we are going to rotate this 270 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. Okay, when we rotate 270 degrees, all right, what happens, okay, is there's that rule that we discussed, those rules of transformations. So when we rotate 270 degrees, what's going to happen is X and Y are going to change places. So X and Y will change places. And then this X value is going to become negative. So for instance, right here, this is at 1, 1. So when I take 1, 1 and I flip X and Y, I'm going to change their positions. So C is at 1, 1. C prime, I'm going to flip-flop their positions, which still is 1, 1. But then I'm going to put a negative sign on that second coordinate. So now this becomes 1, -1. Let's look at A. A is at 5, 7. So I'm going to change their places, so flip-flop them, so it becomes 7, 5. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put that negative sign in front of that coordinate. So what I want you to do is I want you to try T. Where is T, and what would T prime look like? So the coordinate T is at 5, 2. So T prime will switch their places, and then the 5 becomes negative. So if we were to graph this, C prime is at 1, -1. A prime, oops, these should all be A's. A prime is at 7, -5. And T prime is at 2, -5. So here is my rotated triangle. There you go. All right, the last one that we're going to look at is a reflection. So when we reflect something across a line, it has to be equidistant on both sides. What that means is if I were to fold this paper along line M, ABC and its reflected version should match up perfectly. So if B is 1 unit away on the left, B prime should be 1 unit away on the right. If C is 1 unit away, C prime should also be there. So if you can imagine, I'm folding this over, right? Well, A is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So A prime should be 1, 2, 3, 4 away, and they should all be in this beautiful straight line. So here's my reflected version. So what I want you to do is to pretend that you were folding it along that line M, and they should match up perfectly. So my coordinates would be at over 9 up 8. I'd be at over 6 up 8, and then over 6 up 4. All right, guys, nice job. Please make sure that you practice the standard in USA Test Prep. This is G.1.3. All right, we've got another video up for you tomorrow, so please make sure you watch it. Get that standards checkpoint done. Get that standards checkpoint done and have a great day. Adios.